Oh, TJ to the rescue right there. He said, no sound. So, what we're actually going to do is we're going to replay that whole segment and just redo the whole thing. Good morning and welcome to the morning show. It's Thursday, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. It's good to have each and every one of you here with us. I appreciate again TJ Pruitt in the house helping us out, get that going. We're live right now on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok on my left, and of course we've got the Zoom feed going. As I was saying earlier, it's lonely here. No Brittany here to my left. I'm not saying that that's how it's going to be today, but right now it's lonely. Don't wanna be all by. Just kidding. TJ, thank you again for that. I hope that you are having a tremendous Thursday. Okay, we're starting the day off great here in Middle Tennessee. For real though, I don't know about you guys, but it's dead-gum hot in Middle Tennessee. I don't know who came up with the term dead gum, but we do it. By the way, let's see here. We got some folks on TikTok. Great to have you here. Thank you so much. Hi from Texas. Is Texas as hot as Tennessee? Because it's like, hey, what is it? Hey, we got Brittany. Yay! By the way, shout out to my wife. I think this needs to be the new tradition. She just brought the whole pot of coffee.
Oh, yes.
Like,
Not pot.
I said pot of coffee.
You paused.
I didn't pause that much, okay? But they said, yes, it is super hot in Texas.
I bet. There.
But anyways, how are you, Mom?
I'm that.
Not my mom, but a mother of my children.
I am that.
I say that because the reason we're a little here and there right now is both kiddos decided to get up with Mom today. Yay! Isn't that the best? It's the best.
Here's
ever.
the deal, though. I will say, Anna, she's been like, cuddly. It's been great. When Adley woke up, wrong side of the bed, chip on her shoulder, ulterior negative motives, all of the things that you can say that give you a bad day, that for some reason Adley has had that. Although I don't want to say bad day, she's had a bad morning.
She has had a difficult start that she is getting ready to turn around. Don't you do that again.
All right. But yeah, so.
Oh, man, that's awesome. Got Mark Henderson in the house at a baseball game. Got terrible service. Well, that stinks. Well, not the game part, but the signal part. But let's go. Let's go, Eli. Hey, I have a question, okay? Y'all can help me out with this. Just curious. Don't you say a word. Don't say a word.
Don't have to.
Don't have to. On TikTok, you see this, okay? Everyone else, Facebook, YouTube, everything else. What am I drinking my coffee out of right now? I want to know. What am I? No hints.
I'm not hinting.
No.
Just drinking mine.
Just drinking yours, exactly. I'm drinking out of mine, and you're drinking out of yours. I want to know, what is this? Just want to know.
Yes.
TJ, you're dead to me.
The best part of waking up.
It's coffee in your bowl. Okay, Brittany's been on me now, this for like a couple days.
Life to your soul. It's coffee in your bowl.
bowl. I'm gonna put my Wheaties in there. So I grabbed this out of the dishwasher one day, and I'm like, cool. It's like one of those like Central Perk Friends coffee mug things, and I'm sipping out of it. And Brittany's like, "What you doing?" I'm like,
That, even your mother, you weren't raised to know that to be a cup. You weren't raised for this.
"Why y'all hating on me today?" Let's see here. How do you drink coffee?
We've got anti-coffeeers.
Oh, okay. Where?
How do you drink coffee? Is that like a...
That's not an anti-coffee. That's
Maybe.
I drink mine black.
Well,
See?
that's true. How do you drink your coffee? Never
How
mind.
do
I
you drink-
apologize. It's early.
Yeah.
Black.
Yeah.
Like a cowboy.
Yeah.
I said that one time I was in a writing session with my dad and somebody else, and I was like, I drink mine black. I'm like a cowboy. And my dad goes, well, I guess that makes me a Barbie. Because I like cream and sugar.
Because I like the stuff. Give me all the stuff. All right, so Mark says it's a soup cup.
Every time I drink
TJ
coffee.
says it's a bowl because it's too
Yes.
big. My mom says, isn't that for soup? Yes, that's what I've been told. The bigger container, the faster it gets. It's true, but I drink my coffee very fast. And I have a theory. Mm-hmm. There is some aerodynamics that come through having this massive curvature. Do you like that curvature? So that when I sip,
Oh, God.
wow,
Let me tell
I
you
really
something.
taste them beans.
That sound drives me nuts.
Sipping?
Yes. I'm one of those people. I
You're
don't
one
know
of
what they're
those
called.
people?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mother Teresa has spoken.
That's true. I have nothing else to say now. If Mama says it, it must
You weren't.
be true.
You were raised to know better.
I was raised to know, but that's not completely factual. I mean, let me say it this way. So it was kind of like, we're going to talk about some Southern things here for a long. Now, it wasn't in my house, but when I went to my mama's house, okay, We didn't eat cereal out of bowls. We ate cereal out of Cool Whip containers.
It's not a Southern thing, baby. That's just a Yo Mamo thing. Because I don't.
I never knew the difference, and it was like, wait, what? You did what? I did. I don't know why we did that, but we did.
Wait a minute.
Let's see here.
Wait a minute.
Every time I drink coffee, I have to use the back.
Wait.
There's science to that.
What's your favorite? Okay, so here's the deal. Was there...
I like these questions.
Yes.
I appreciate you being on today.
Milk? Or was it...
Yeah, it wasn't Cool Whip. It wasn't like, I'm saying it was empty. She might
have been on to something.
It was empty. It got washed. It was, for some reason, it was a utensil. Or not a utensil, but what would a bowl be categorized as? There's a word.
A bowl.
Give us words. It's okay, Brittany. I'm one of those people too. Chris likes slurping and making noises when he eats and drinks. Listen, I don't try to do what was your birthday? We were eating at the dinner table, and I don't know, somehow
I don't even know
I made a noise.
What were you eating?
Was it chicken? Did we have chicken?
Maybe fried chicken.
Something.
It had a to it.
And I'm just eating, and then all of a sudden, I mean, did you all know that eyeballs can pierce
It's true. And I tell you, chips are one of the world's worst because, some people like to chew chips with their mouth open. I'm just saying. Not the whole time, but the first initial crunch.
Yeah, well, I mean, because you're loaded up and it's like, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, what do you want me to do? You want me to go?
No, it doesn't. My ears can't take it, and I do your laundry. It doesn't make sense.
Wait, what's the laundry got to do? That's not true. That is so not true. What are you talking about? And I do laundry too, ma'am.
It's true.
I do a lot of laundry.
But I do spotting of stains.
You prep it, I wash it. Boom.
But anyways, yes. I love you anyways. I'm not putting you down.
Oh, yeah, no. This is marriage. It brings us together.
That's the difference in a healthy marriage. It's okay to express the things that we do not like. I just don't do it in such a way that's like, close your mouth, are you an idiot? That's mean. I'll just do this. Just be like, hey, it's driving me nuts.
You gotta have fun with it.
I love you.
You gotta have fun with it. Martinez, are you with us today?
Oh, by the way, what's your favorite food and snack and candy and ice cream? Goodness, all of the above.
Are you trying to get our passwords?
Newsflash, it's not food related.
Has nothing to do with any of that. Try again. No, I'm just kidding.
You'll have to ask iPhone because nowadays
I know
I don't know my own password.
When you try to log into somebody else's device, it's pointless. Yeah. I'll just wait till I get my phone back.
Hey, what's your password? I'm like, I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
Here's my password. What's my password?
Here's my password. Between facial ID recognition, I've lost all memory.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. But it's better that way because of the constant craziness. I have to take this. I'll be right back. I'm so sorry. You're a great host. You got this.
Anyways, coffee just went everywhere. So we've been talking about community, and I just lost half of mine. So, let's talk about it. We got Martinez on here. He's good and
yes.
He doesn't have a phone call from Firestone. So does anybody understand though, when you have your car, when you get it serviced at a, a Firestone or whatever, that's what we use down here. You don't miss that call. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know, getting a hold of them again, because they're busy people. A lot of cars need work. So it's one of those things. It's those take priority. It's those kinds of, it's the Firestone phone calls. It's the doctor's office. I'm going to tell you, one of my most fearful moments in life is when I've called my kids' doctors, but I've done the voicemail. And so I have to keep my phone close so they can call me. And I don't even like to be on the phone. I'm still that old school person. Even though I know it can just call through, I'm still that old school person that's like, I got to get off the phone and keep the line open because the doctor's going to call me. And then, like right there at my hands at all times. But I never watch my phone. It's kind of like watching water boil. It's never going to happen. Like, don't watch your phone. They'll never call. But at least keep it close because you're going to know. Why don't you get some paper towels?
Whoops.
But, yeah. Anyways. So, I think we've had a pretty good week so far, though. Where are we at? Thursday? I'm going to tell you, by the time it gets to Thursday, sometimes I get a little blurred out in the days. But, yeah, I've enjoyed this word, community. A matter of fact, yesterday, this is when you know you're having a good show in the mornings. Yesterday evening... Actually, not even evening, multiple times yesterday, I found myself talking about our show. And not like in that weird self-promotion way, but I told Jason the other day, just in terms of the show, I'll wake up in the morning, I'll kind of be in a rough mood or whatever. You know what I mean? Sometimes you wake up in a slow mood. By the end of the show, I feel better. Just kind of talking with our peeps.
Isn't that interesting how that works?
Good girl. Yeah, so it does. It makes you feel a world better just to talk to people. And that inevitably is because we have kind of developed our own little community, our own tribe. Our own tribe here, and I love it. Me and Martinez were talking yesterday about sometimes you can get caught up when you do stuff like in the numbers and things like that.
In the numbers.
We were talking about mega churches.
Oh, okay.
But
okay.
It applies.
Sorry, y'all, I'm back.
It applies to this. I don't think, when you get caught up in how big something is, I just think that's not a healthy way of thinking. I think what's most important is your impact. Mm-hmm. I think when people kind of lose themselves is when they get caught up in how fast it grows as opposed to how much impact and what it is that they are impacting. Like, what are you leaving? What is the impact? And for us, we were talking about, certain churches that maybe don't exist anymore because they lost sight of, the impact being the gospel, and they got kind of caught up in numbers. But to that point, when you start a show, when you do anything like that, I think it's important that you don't get caught up on the growth of it as much as you get caught up on, hey, did I make a positive impact today?
Oh, TJ, you stole it. I was literally going to say that's what I thought about that conversation. That is so good. I'm going to read TJ's comment. Truett Cathy, this is the Chick-fil-A. I think, was he the founder? I think so, because Dan, I think, was his son. He said that if you make it better, we'll get bigger. Okay? That's just a big cup. Sister Violet,
you're,
we
this
used
morning
to be
we've already
friends.
established this. It's a bowl. I agree with you 100%.
I grabbed it out of the dishwasher. It looked suitable for my stature needs.
For his caffeine
intake.
And
I decided that this was my cup.
Yes. But anyways, yes, so you were saying, yes, if it gets better.
Yes, and I'm not, because now there is, I think, a nuance to that, because I do think, some people can get under that perfectionism. Mm-hmm. But the point is, I actually saw somebody do a really cool illustration. Mm-hmm. He said, number one, your first edition is never your last edition.
Yeah.
Things are constantly going to get better, and you have to live in a path of getting better. Okay. Now, that being said, if you get something 80% good, get it out into the world and get some feedback on it. However, with that feedback, go back and make it 80% better again. Well, guess what? Now you're at, I think, 96%. Do it again. Now you're at 99.4. So my point is, making it better isn't about keeping it in the lab and keeping it but to your point, hey, we're going to make it better not by our opinions, but by what people are giving us feedback on. I love your all's text messages and comments and all the things that you guys feed into the show because we're constantly wanting to make it better. Brittany, I'll tell you what, she has such a great eye. For instance, she's the one that really saw the vision for getting, like, we had a camera around the house, and she's like, I bet you if we could use that camera, our shot would be that much better. She's the one that helped us get this nicer, cleaner look. Like, it's just, we're constantly wanting to get better because as it gets better, it gets bigger.
It does.
I
but
believe.
You kind of shared a little window, though, into how you and I work together.
It's true.
And, like, I will say Jason is going to bring, because he's going to bring creativity 100%. He founded this idea. Like, he did this. This was a huge amount of creativity involved. And the one thing that he brought
Talking
to the
over coffee.
Talking over coffee. But the one thing he's brought to the table and always brings to the table in our life is consistency. And so he's going to make sure, hey, listen, if we set our minds to doing this, then we're going to do this. I mean, there's obviously reasonable change-ups in plans and things like that, but in terms of just the consistency of the thing, he's going to bring that. And then, when he asked me to be a part of this, he's like, okay. He's like, but I don't want you to just be on the show. I want you to bring to the table stuff to make it your own. Well, that's just the first thing I thought of, because that's kind of where I gravitate to is
as a designer.
Yeah, the visual. I made that back in the day.
This whole room you've done. You've painted it. You've decorated it, furnished it. You've done the whole deal.
The idea of what the imagery looks like, the creativity of the face of the thing, I tend to gravitate towards. I used to design logos and things like that. And so yeah, like just that kind of stuff. But we mesh well together because we kind of know how each other flows in that, and we've worked together for several years. But I do want to, because we've been talking about community, and I was going to ask this. Is your spouse your community?
Looks like it's going to be Marriage Thursday.
I'm just saying, I mean,
so can you work with your spouse?
Yeah, not everybody can.
Like, we've had those conversations with people. They're like,
no,
we're not going to do that.
Do you want to know how you can figure out if you can work with your spouse or not? Legitimately, do you want to
take up gardening together? Oh.
No, it just takes one thing. One thing.
Okay.
One piece of IKEA furniture.
What? To put it together?
To put it together. If you put
the IKEA challenge,
IKEA box in front of a married couple put it together.
That would be a good influencer campaign.
Actually, this would be great marriage counseling.
But I'm just saying, partner up with IKEA. Hey, for all people accepting this challenge, we're going to give you 20% off all things IKEA. Ready, set, grow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's true though. I mean, like that, I could see, hey, listen, we're wanting to get married. Can we do some marital counseling? Yeah, sure. Let me order something from IKEA real quick.
If they build it, they will stay.
Yeah. But it's true though. The answer to that question, depending on whatever it may be, I think often, because we did talk about community can be a bad thing or a good thing. Mm-hmm. But I just mean, is your marriage a place that is a positive community? Is your marriage your tribe? Mm-hmm. Is it your safe place?
To Martinez's point, which this kind of correlates into, okay, the community of one, the principle of marriage is that these two become one.
Exactly.
And so in the center, and granted, if you're not married, that's fine too, because now, honest to God, like you're still, that's right, it's coffee time. It's still you. But to that point, like all of our advice to single people typically, is look, go ahead and be marriage material now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But so that way when you become married, and again, if you're not, like, don't tune out, but like we're very,
yeah.
Man, this is my team right here. Team Pot.
Your mama. Our formula is a little different than your parents.
That's how we've stayed married so long. We know we can't work together. And that's fine.
And TJ, he said, Ashley's my favorite person to work in children's ministry with. We can play off of each other so much. I learned most of this from something Bishop McCool said years ago. I've never forgotten it. Will we know it so that we will never forget it? I want to know your secret. But yeah, no, okay. I think
my parents, they're funny to work with. I'll be honest with you. My parents, because they pick at each other in a very 42 years, people.
Yeah.
42 years.
But
and they are funny.
Technically, they do.
They do work,
yes. do work together, but we just
maybe they go home and start fighting though. That's what it's like. It's fun and games to us, but they're like, I won't tell you.
But that's interesting. It's an interesting thing because we're very honest about the fact that we work well together. But I also think our idea of jobs tend to be a little different than some people, and that is, for instance, we run our home like a business. Not everybody that I know does that.
Time out. I want to clarify though, okay? You are correct.
Yeah.
But it's a business that's a partnership.
Yeah.
It's not.
And no one gets fired.
And no one, exactly. my point is, if you start running things like somebody's the employee.
Yeah, no, that's right. That's very right. This is a partnership. We own the business together. But that's because we have to work well together, not work for one or the other.
Yeah.
We work well together.
Yeah.
And so we run our home like a business in the sense that how we manage our groceries, how we manage our laundry, how we manage I'm not saying it's a well-oiled machine.
Oh yeah, no, but
constantly.
Well, nobody Let me tell you a secret, okay? There is no such thing as just absolute harmony at all times. Mm-mm. In fact, that's what makes relationships so great because you start understanding quickly how to respect one another's boundaries, how to amplify one another's strengths, and how also to not diminish people because of their weaknesses. They are who they are, and they are significant in your life if they have found themselves in that position. So, for instance, like I kind of even look at us as kind of like a C-suite. So, like it's kind of like there's CEO, but then there's COO. Mm-hmm. Like there's I'm going to go do some stuff, and you're going to manage some stuff, but we're going to collaborate on making sure that I'm not giving you impossible things and that I'm not supporting. You know what I'm saying? Like there's conversations, but we also have people that speak into our lives. Like we have people that we talk to on a pretty regular basis.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying that we have scheduled meetings, but I'm just simply saying it goes back to community. We have a community of people that feel the same way that we do. And so being around them, we get to learn do's, do nots, and constantly grow from these experiences of being together.
Yeah. But I would say though that if you are in a married relationship, if you're married, and you are lacking in your relationship, you should always be growing in your relationship. You should always be bettering your relationship, to a certain extent. But I just mean there is, there is offense within your marriage. There is hurt within your marriage. There is lack of communication, whatever that may be, right? That's causing something, extensive there. It will affect how you are in any other community that you're involved in. I have found I cannot work at my best if he and I are fighting. Nothing else is.
Oh, it's the rug. It's caught.
Oh, nothing else is functioning properly. Until we get this working good. It's hard for us. Now, granted, I don't carry my offense on my sleeve where everybody knows you and I are fighting.
Well, let me.
That's another topic.
That's a different story. Martinez is laughing on that.
I loved his chuckle. He's like,
I know them people. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Well, let me say this. Okay. This is something that we've made conscious decisions about. Okay. If we start getting a little off in terms of we're getting a little snarky, whatever, we shut it down because we have agreed that when we start competing or getting at one another,
thank you,
it's taking us away from our purpose and our calling, and it's impeding our progress and destination. So really and truly, our goals and our purposes align us and stop us from getting into it.
yeah,
Like that's how committed we are to moving forward with our lives, because if we have sideways energy, that means we're staying put, not going anywhere, and we're not putting energy going forward.
yeah. But that takes practice.
Oh yeah, like that takes a commitment. That takes time to. You got to swallow pride,
trust.
Because
if you don't have a safe place in your marriage, like if your marriage is not a safe place, then you can't just start those practices, but yeah, exactly. Like there are no-go zones in frustration. I'm not gonna tear his masculinity down. You know
don't
what I'm saying?
you emasculate me.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny. I don't know if anybody else watched any clips or anything of the former trial.
The former trial,
on.
formerly known as.
Yes.
What?
She didn't get the memo. But yeah, the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, you're being funny. But something I noticed, I ain't here to talk about, sides.
Bruno.
Yeah. But there was things that I noticed because of active practices I do in my marriage from her side, because I can't speak to a man's side, but I can speak to a woman's side. I am a woman, I'm a woman. So I noticed there were some things in like audios that went out, and I didn't watch the whole thing, but like I would watch clips and things of some of the most degrading and emasculating statements you could make to an individual, and it broke my heart. And I'm not, they're faults on both sides, but just certain things that can really destroy your community with each other.
Yeah.
So just little no-goes like that,
Yeah.
Like you're not a man. Like what? Just there are things to keep your community flourishing.
Yeah.
You don't go.
Yeah, I understand.
Talk about love. I talk about respect.
Talk about love, love, love. Martinez, what do you think about all this stuff, bro?
Yeah, Malachi is loving it. And, community of one, community with your wife, your significant other, I think it's got to be priority number one, just because, like, you're just spinning your wheels. You're compassing the mountain over and over again if you don't get that right. You know what I mean? Like so it to me it's like getting each other on the same page, fighting fair, whatever commitment and understanding you have. It's all for the better, but it's all for the sake of staying unified. And to me, if the community with oneself, if you're single, and the community of both selves when you're married, if that's right, there's nothing that you can't withstand, conquer, get through, get over, get around, or whatever. That's got to be right. So I agree with you 1,000%. I mean, like that's almost like a no-brainer. Maybe not to say that I do it right, and I think I'm any relationship worth having is a relationship worth fighting for. And you're in the lab every day because new circumstances, new situations present themselves. And but if your principles are the same, that is, hey, I'm not gonna no, whatever it is, no name calling, no belittling, yeah, we're a business, but this is not This is not the Army, or this is not UPS.
Did you hear that?
This is not UPS where it's, you're as tight as shipping the shipping business, and when you're not tight, then you get criticized or whatever. It's I believe it's smart to run stuff. It's just you might call it a business, but it's just having systems in place for your relationship, for your marriage, for your household, groceries, washing. Of course, I mean, I think with Mount, we probably wash clothes every day around here. It's like crazy. It's like water bills going through it's not that bad, but to me, $30 a month is going through the roof. But but
I will say though, I think talking about business, referring to it as business, kind of helps us both, because our perspective in business is to, obviously sometimes there's a separation from emotion in business, right? Or care even in business. And I don't know that there should be. You know what I'm saying? Like when we do business, we've talked about this. It's not about a power trip. It's about leadership. And so we care about businesses we're involved in, that we add care to it. And I think that's why for us, they both tend to mesh well, because the way we run business is with care, and it's like you said, it's a partnership. I think that's what's so important. When it is your business, there's a sense of ownership and appreciation and value in it. So as we run that together, those emotions.
Well, to your point, okay, so again, the idea of you can't run your marriage where you treat one person as the owner and the other person is the employee. Because you both have vested interest.
Yeah.
And again, it's a partnership. So again, if a business gets slapped with a lawsuit, you both are on the line.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
If
I'm not going down.
I ain't going down for this. Like if we miss a revenue opportunity, I can't look at, well, this is your fault and you need to we are in this together. I don't care whose fault it is. We've got to pull it together and get it going. Yeah. Like it's about responsibility. Like I really and that goes back to community. And wherever you're finding that, you have to take responsibility for what's going on in that environment.
You really do.
Like if you don't like what's going on in that community or in that, either do something about it or remove yourself.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Did I stir something?
It's okay. Do something about it. But do it with the intent that it needs to be done. Don't do it making it obvious you're mad that you have to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to get in here and I'm going to clean this up because no one else will. God knows if I don't get in here and fix it, ain't nobody else going to do it. Well, I'm like, you ain't doing nothing for you.
Well. Stay out of my marriage. Stay out of my marriage. Well, to that point, instead of acting in such a way, hey, I want to talk.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm seeing that's going on. How can we fix this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, I tell you this too, so something that's interesting, finances tend to be a very high topic in arguing in marriage, right? Okay. Very, very high topic, very hot button issue. I don't want to jinx us or whatever, but we don't really fight over money. But I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that we are very open about purchases. You know what I'm saying? We talk a lot about our money. Now you kind of handle this is what's in, this is what we have, and then I take it and say, okay, well, we need this, this, and that, and I oversee that portion. So for instance, inflation is a thing, right? And so things are going up, especially groceries. Please write in the comments, are you seeing an increase in your grocery bill? But there has been an increase. I've not really changed what we order, but it's an increase. Yeah, go eat it. And so you come to the table and say, hey, I've noticed groceries seem to be more expensive. What's going on? And then I come to him and say, I know, I've noticed this too. I want you to look over our grocery list, and I want you to come to and kind of help me figure out maybe where we can cut some corners, but also, I mean, I'm kind of questioning it too, So then we come together, and it's not you're not saying, babe, why are you spending all this money? And I'm like, well, I have to get it. My kids are hungry. It's.
Well, to that point, it goes back to last week's deal. It's a perspective.
Yeah.
And here's what I mean by that. So we looked at it. So like, all right, I'm going to be personal for a second. Like, I'm going to be personable. So
it's okay. Our kids are in diapers on
that's
the
true.
TV, so.
Little goose. We have a like poop hits the fan meal kit thing. Like we have a doomsday deal.
We have an emergency food.
We have
pack,
emergency. Yeah. It's good for 25 years. It's probably going to taste like absolute. She unhooked the camera.
Are you serious?
Absolutely, I am.
Are we live?
I don't know. We're live. Yeah, y'all can hear us, but you can't see us.
That's funny.
Anyways.
Did she?
I think so. Anyways, either that or it died.
It did.
Could it? Did it? Here, plug out of the iPad into that to the charger. Anyways, I've got one of them doomsday deals, all right? It's probably going to taste like Dookie, okay? And at the end of the day, the way I look at it is we've got that in place. When it comes to like our daily living and food and da-di-da, I'm very like, I want to go to zero to the best of my ability, right? Like I don't have, like my point is I'm thinking in terms of abundance in the sense of like, hey, if we don't have it, we'll go get it. But to go get when we've still got stuff and we're pushing stuff further back. I'm not saying that we do that on purpose. I'm just simply saying I think everyone kind of, oh my gosh, we got that and we didn't eat and it's expired, right? Like, so like even some of the stuff, like, so we'll look at it and be like, I'll be honest, we have plenty of that. We're good. We don't need that. We don't need that, right? Like it was a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? But we wouldn't have had that conversation if we hadn't sat down to talk, right? So that's the whole deal. I got it.
Yeah, no, it's true. And I'll be honest with you. Yeah, and that creates an interesting practice that we do, which is empty the pantry. And that's always the fun game. We literally every month or so, we just try to empty out our pantry. And like whatever it is, we're going to cook some random things and make a fun meal out of emptying said pantry. But yeah, like that's little exercises that we do that inevitably prevents arguments, prevents situations. Are we on? Can you see us?
Yep, there you are.
Are we there?
Hey!
Yay, we're back!
We did it!
Goodness gracious.
Well, boy, I'll tell you what, that drains the battery.
I'm going to tell you something. The devil doesn't like a healthy marriage.
Devil don't like this show.
And he has dwelled...
Talking about what he knows.
I'm telling you, he has dwelled in the camera system today. But yeah, just little things about, open communication to avoid arguments, being quick to apologize too. There's always at least 10% you can apologize for. Be quick to apologize.
Can I tell you something crazy?
Okay. You're sorry?
So, is it too late now to say sorry? Martina's talked about principles. The principles are the principles are the principles. And I find that Occam's razor, simplest solution always wins, is so true. And here's why. There's a principle in the Bible, and you said it the other day, a kind word turns away wrath.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And it's a lot easier to say that than to do that in the heat of an argument.
You're very, very...
Or in the moment where all of a sudden, who was she to say that to me? I'll tell you right now. Let me tell you some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like all of a sudden, I'm not living principled. I'm living emotional.
Yeah.
And I'm letting my emotions ruin a relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very, very...
Principles contain... to enhance, like they are there to make sure that things are fruitful. I don't know. I just thought about that because that anytime really and truly we've gotten into an argument, that is definitely my portion. Is I will let my emotions overcome me, and instead of having a kind word to retort with, it's
Bottom line is, these are exercises we do because we know that if our home, each other, the both of us, if we are not functioning well together, if we are not flourishing well together, it's going to inevitably affect our outside relationships. Because if you are married and there is there's something lacking within your marriage, you're going to try to find that outside of your marriage. And I'm actually not talking about infidelity at all. I'm talking about friendship. I'm talking about connection, communication. Yes, absolutely. There is safety. There is infidelity issues, obviously, because the enemy's going to try to get in there and destroy what God has put together. But I'm actually not referring to that at all. I have found, I've witnessed far too often a connection that you have with somebody. You're so close to that person, best friends, right? Like I don't typically use that word. I kind of hinted to it the other day. I don't like the term best friend because there's only one person that has stood in front of God and our loved ones and vowed to be the person in my life in sickness and in health, for richer or for poor, till death parts us. He vowed before God, I'm going to be there for you. And I vowed I'm going to be there for him. So he's the only person that I can hold to that vow.
Are you going to tell us who it was?
I'm sorry, what are you talking about? I'm confused. What?
Sorry, you're just like, I'll tell you, and he did, and I said,
him.
Are you going to tell us who that was?
But yeah, so seeking that kind of connection, expecting somebody else in your life. I'm not saying you can't have I have great friendships that I value so much. But that kind of connection, right? Like that type of friendship where it's like you're unified together, right? Like I got you through thick and thin. I'm your ride or die. I find sometimes there's a lot of conflict in those relationships, especially if it involves two people that are married. More often than not, I have noticed that there is a lack of connection in the marriage. That I feel like if you were to have that connection as it should be, which is both of you coming to the table and meeting each other's needs, your friendships would flourish more, because I think sometimes you expect too much from an outside party because you're lacking so much from your inside unit. And that could be, there's several things. That could be the idea, I'm not teaching my kids this concept. Two halves do not make a whole. Two whole people make one unit. You know what I'm saying? My daughter is not half of a person because she's not married. Absolutely not. No, this is your season where you find who you are. You are strengthened in who you are. You are confident in who you are. You don't need somebody to necessarily complete because you are half. Now, absolutely, be married, be a unit. It's incredible. But also don't live your life lacking because that is missing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So with that understanding coming into a marriage, I think that helps too. I'm not asking you to fix something in me. Right. And then at that point it becomes idolatry. You're not my God, you're my husband. So.
Well, what's funny about that is, all right, I used to think I was weird for this, mm-hmm. But again, I'm getting more and more comfortable being just who I am. We've talked about this a little bit, but like, I have no problem with people doing it because that's them. But for me, I don't like doing the, like, getting with the boys. Mm-hmm. Like I'm genuine. Like I have brothers, like, as far as friends, and we connect, but like,
and men's ministry, like we believe.
Yeah, like I believe, but like I don't have like this, like,
I gotta get away from my wife.
Yeah, I gotta, like, and I'm not saying that like to bullcrap. Like, I mean, I genuinely, but my point is leading up to this. I choose daily to be with you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not like, I don't even feel obligated to you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even though we have a covenant, which is way beyond a commitment. But my point is, but love is choosing.
Yeah.
It's choosing what's right. It's choosing to be there even when things aren't 50-50, so to speak. Not in the terms of what you were talking about, but like, sometimes, collaborating.
Sometimes she's sick as a dog on the couch and I clean the house.
That's a fact.
That was you.
That's a fact.
But yeah, I mean, like, it's one of those, yeah. I'm the same way. You make those choices. But that has to do with who you marry, too. If I could, like, speak into a single person, oh, my goodness, do not just get married because you want to get married. Make sure you know that person. Make sure that, and don't marry somebody that you can't be best friends with. You have to mesh well. You have to, this is going to be your unit. Your number one community is going to be that, because within that community you're gonna make your little tribe. You're gonna have little ones with that person, and so you have to make sure you're strong enough in that relationship that it can stand and grow as you have children. You got to have somebody that you can lay a foundation with before children, with children, and after children, and that takes active choosing each other daily, prioritizing each other daily, so yeah, just a random thing. But I thought, how can you talk about community without talking about, we have a lot of married people that watch our show, and aspiring to be married people. It's hard to talk about community and not talk about marriage. I like my spouse. I want to be around her. I think couples need to not only love each other, but to always like each other. That is so, so true. And this is for everyone, okay? This is not just marriage. This is people. We are called to love everyone. Like, right? We're called to love. Like, we're called to love your neighbor.
Love, love, love.
Love, love, love. That does not mean you're going to like everyone. And that does not mean everybody likes you. Do you know what I'm saying? And so I do think it's important that in your relationship with your spouse, you can love each other and not like each other. And that needs to be worked on. You should be able to like each other.
I like my spouse and I cannot lie.
But yeah. Anyways.
But it's not always. I mean, we get on each other's nerves.
Listen. Yeah.
Destroy your unicorns and rainbows theories. Life's not always unicorn and rainbows. It's not always little fluffy happiness and just cute. Like, it's life.
It is. You're gonna fight. You're gonna have issues. You're gonna have issues. Don't let the sun go down on your wrath.
Don't do it. It's a principle.
And that's very true. But sometimes you are gonna go to bed mad. You're not perfect, but Martinez, you look like you have a thought.
Yeah, it's an old thought, but I was going back to your idea of looking at your relationship, your marriage as a business or a partnership. I think the reason why that might be a good idea, really smart to do, is because the connotation with business is businesses are going somewhere.
Yeah.
Businesses want to remain a going concern. That's a accounting word for sustaining for a lifetime. They want and so the thing about business, and you could say that about community too, but particularly business, every dollar is accounted for. Yeah. It's about the money. You know what I mean? And so in a way, in light of relationships, particularly marriages, being very frustrating and stressful and sometimes a lot of times leading to divorce because of financial issues. It's because someone took their eyes off, their debits and credits. Yeah. The inflow and outflow. And when you look at your marriage as a business, particularly, first of all, if you've never been married before, it's the idea of, you've never ever had to manage your money with somebody else, or you may have never managed your money as an individual. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, which is not a great idea, but You know, by the way,
I wouldn't recommend it.
You know, by the way, we you know, I before I got married, I remember saying like, you know, her credit score ain't above 700. If she got debt of, you know,
dismissed.
You know, if you're living in your mom's house for more than 10 years or whatever, if you never got a utility bill without your name on it, you're not for me. You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because like I remember, and it's kind of shallow. I had several relationships with doctors.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like in med school, and I'm like, but you know, we kind of like not day one, but eventually our conversation would grow into, hey, well, what are you? Did you get a scholarship to go to med school, or you know what?
Yeah.
How do you get like? What kind of debt you gonna have? Well, I'm gonna be like $300,000. Okay, well, you know, it's all right. That's all right. You know, you're gonna be a doctor. You're gonna be, you know, making good income. Check off the list. Just strike her out. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's like. But anyway, all I'm saying is dollar. You know, probably a little bit shallow on my part, but like, I all that stuff made sense to me. You know,
Mm-hmm.
But some people aren't conscious of it at all. I'm kind of conscious of the business side or the dollars. Like since I was in high school, I kept a ledger, you know, of my receipts of groceries and everything else. You know,
handwritten or typed?
Handwritten, brother. Handwritten.
Oh, you know? Well, you know, you and Jason are going to have a lot to relate on, because one thing that when people have asked, hey, what do you recommend? A freshly engaged couple, you know, premarital, what do you recommend? Jason is very like, you bring your money to the table, you bring your debts to the table, you bring how you handle your money to the table, and you have to
I need to talk about it now.
You got to talk about it now.
It's one thing if you're young and like you both are figuring it out together.
Yeah.
But if you're used to being grown,
that's going to take a lot of getting used to. Yeah. We
didn't really even have to go through that. Mm-mm. Like, you know what I mean? Like we were
babies when we got married. But to Martinez's point, you know, he got married. He didn't get married at 19 and 20.
Martinez like, I've got a financial statement, and I'm just trying to figure out: are you going on the top portion or the bottom? Are you an asset or a liability? I'm just trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
You know.
I want to see your balance sheet.
Yeah.
Cash flow statement. That kind of stuff.
But this is the thing too, though. This is hard for some people to take in, because they're like, that's just insensitive. You know, to say that something is ran like a business is insensitive. Well, my
your own definition.
Yeah, my question to that is, what is your definition of business? Because maybe that's where you need to fix things, because you know the idea of it's nothing personal, it's just business. I mean, business is personal in a certain extent. So for us, the way we view business is with a lot of care and with a lot of value, and so. You know, I mean, I know that seems insensitive, right? Because you're like, but I love this person and I love them so much. And you do. And you want to keep that love alive. And this is the things these are the little foxes, so to speak, in the Bible that, you know, you got to be careful about.
You talk about it being personal. You'll take it real personal because when you're talking about business, you know, you're talking about inflow. When that man's not leaving the house and bringing in income, you'll take it a whole lot personal.
Yes,
you know,
you will, yeah.
You know when you know, I forget the best words a married woman could hear. A pastor said it's like is her husband going out the door saying in the morning, talking about, "I'll see you when I get off work, honey." You know, you know, some of the best words she could ever hear. And like the thing about it is, it's like. It ain't rocket science, you know. Everything here, everything that we got on, everything created is monetary input, you know.
Right.
And so but you know, I think looking at your marriage, your relationship as a business, it kind of symbolically makes you think, okay, this is not a case where I can do one thing and he does another thing, and we kind of like sail off in different ships across the ocean, and we not knowing when we'll ever get back, that kind of thing. It's like it's accountability, you know what I mean, for each other. And so, like, I don't know, I think it's a great idea. I just think, and it's not all monetary. A business has they have a customer service, good customers, good rapport. You want to bring customers back. You want to retain employees, so to speak. You don't want like you say, no one gets fired. And there's no pink slips written.
Well, it's a partnership. You own the business together, and when you own a business, you want to, obviously, yes, you want it to grow with income, but you also want it to put down roots for a legacy, and you want it to be a place in the community that promotes change for the positive in the community, and you want it to, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you really, really break down what people do, the successful businesses, the owners of those businesses, there's value in that, right? Because inevitably it's their livelihood. And so, that in and of itself has to do with finances. But if you take that mentality into your marriage and how you kind of, view your home or whatever, and you view each other as, hey, listen, this is a source of livelihood for us, not in an idolatry type of way, but just in this is a life source for me.
Well, if y'all are on the same page, like, one thing that Brittany is really good about that I appreciate, because I heard somebody, I think it's Jim Rome used to talk about this. He would say, it's difficult in a family if your partners, you don't have the same ideals. Because or you're unrealistic. So like he used to say, hey, some marriages have this issue where the spouse says, all right, go conquer the world and be back by 5.
Yeah.
I'm like, hang on a second. You do understand what you just asked me. So go blow it up, but I expect you to be on my time too. So like Brittany is like, there's been times where I've called her and like, I ain't gonna be home for a while.
Yeah.
I had to go. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, I understand.
Yeah. But
hate that.
That's a sacrifice that we're both making.
Yeah.
And with the understanding that this is not because he wants to go hang out with the boys, or this is not because he doesn't want to come home. I mean, this is a sacrifice that when we first started having kids and they were babies, that was hard for you to then go out and go to work, it's like, and be late because, he was pulling late hours, and he's like, I want to be there with my girls. And I'm like, hey, you're the reason why there's a bottle in their mouth. You're the reason why right now you're taking the weight of the financial burden and you're supplying this need. And I'm here, but if it wasn't for you, I couldn't be here all the time. And what we have, and so, encouraging each other in your roles.
Yeah.
100%.
Absolutely.
And and can I just say too, if he's going to be late, I ain't sitting idle.
That's true. Like she's like, I'll be honest with you. She's like, that's okay. Me and the girls, I've got them out here. I'm cutting a sign, or I'm doing I'm gonna do something. I mean, she like that's where like
people look at a stay-at-home wife, mom, and they're like, boy, that's a traditional mentality. That's you're so much more. I don't look at it as I'm not just on the couch. I'm not, I have a responsibility within our kids. But let me tell you this, too. This is something that people knock on it all the time. What's the matter?
I just have that picture of, you remember on Everyone Loves Raymond? I'm not just some trophy wife or That's what Marie said.
But listen, this is true, though. Proverbs 31, right? Like, we all talk about that for a woman. Proverbs 31 is the perfect wife. And I've heard so many people knock on that. That's just a man's perspective of what a woman should be. Well, first off, that's not Solomon's perspective. That's Solomon's mama that is telling him, hey, son, you want a good wife? Let me tell you something. She's more precious than rubies, right? Like that's a good wife for you, right? Like she is like a treasure. You should treasure her, care for her. But she spent literally verses, okay, talking about how that woman should maintain a business within the home. Right? Like she talked about, you're going to make sure the kids are clothed. You're going to make sure, you're going to go, you're dealing with, for her, it was fabrics and things like that. But I loved it when I kind of unpacked it myself. I was like, she described the perfect entrepreneur woman. You know what I'm saying? To maintain the,
Well, and that's something I appreciate about you because, again, like we don't, like even at this home, like we look at, like.
Teacher's like, yes, a woman of business. Yeah,
he's with me. This office is not just, we've got an office. We stream out of this thing every single day. Yeah. We do church streams out of this. Our garage, we don't park our cars in the garage. It's a shop.
Yeah.
I don't have a garage. We have a wood shop. Like. The dining room that's in front of us, it's our conference room.
Yeah.
We have people over and we'll have conversations about, business and ministry and like it goes back to this. God has blessed us and we want to live with purpose, on purpose for His glory.
Yeah.
And we want to do it together.
Understanding your roles and understanding the value of your roles in your and that to me is how you create a healthy community within your marriage. She did say even makes her husband look good among his peers. I talk about that. I said that in a sermon once.
Oh, you make me look way better than what I am.
She does her husband good when he's away. But that I always referred to that as I don't get with my girls and have a bash session about our husbands because inevitably that's going to affect the way they view my husband. And I don't like that. If we have an argument, that's between us and we're going to deal with it because I'm going to get over it a lot quicker than somebody else who has no dog in the fight. So, yeah, so to speak. I don't fight dogs.
Who let the dogs out?
All right, we're over. I'm so sorry. Yes, but anyways, marriage, community, prioritize it. Do good. Do good.
How'd you like that sign off?
Do better, because you're capable of better.
Don't slow your roll. Know your role.
Oh, man. I love you guys. What is tomorrow? The last day?
It's Friday.
Tomorrow I'm going to give you a deeper, in-depth look into the formula of how to talk to people.
I promise you there's a formula, and it's coming your way.
42-step plan. But no,
for real,
though.
Start with 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, for real, though.
And you've got relationships.
Yeah. We can talk about a good little way to talk to people.
Oh, my God.
Little secrets.
Awesome. Well, this has been fun, Martinez. Appreciate you. Facebook, appreciate you all. TikTok died. Phone died. Camera died.
Like mine.
Our pets' heads are falling off. Have a great day, everyone.